Howdy. With Transformers Prime, the first edition subline was a means of creating solid figures of some of the characters from the show. Cliffjumper got two. You have the original, still living version of him, which only hit Canadian and Asian retail. Then there's this, the Terrorcon redeco. Those who've watched the show will know that Cliffjumper, as a Terrorcon, didn't transform. He didn't have the instinct or intelligence to do so. If you own his original first edition figure, you'll notice on this version, the wheel rims are unpainted. They added some battle damage paint apps. Part of the paint on the roof has been intentionally scraped off, and the translucent plastic is now purple instead of blue, to represent the blood of Unicron coursing through him. The devil really is in the details here. Comparing the first edition and Robots in Disguise molds, you'll notice the former is slightly bigger, which I believe is the case for most of that subline. That's because, with the RID toys, part of the budget goes towards these separate weapons/accessories. This mold doesn't come with any. It's bigger because the budget was there for it. They couldn't really touch the car's base design, but there are minor differences to be had. Amongst them, the FE figure is cast in a lighter shade of red, has molded Autobot symbols near the doors, one of which is painted, and the headlights are done in clear plastic. Overall, I'd say these two molds are as good as each other in car mode. Which is to say, both look great. The battle damage may be an acquired taste though. It's weird how both figures have surprisingly similar transformations in how everything unfolds. It's the results that are different, and, in the case of Terrorcon Cliffjumper, better. Despite being slightly taller than the RID figure, he has the similar amount of bulk that we'd expect from the character. But in terms of kibble, as in vehicle parts that just hang off without looking like anything, he's much cleaner. Aside from the horns ending up in a very unflattering location. Most of the battle damage carries over to this mode, including the roof, which actually forms the chest this time around. And again, if you own the original FE figure, you'll notice they retooled the head. One of the horns is cut off, the right side of his face is really messed up. And while we're at it, the dead effect created by the dark translucent plastic in his optics has never been more appropriate. The articulation is impressive. Though I will say, this mold used for Cliff has slightly smaller feet, which makes balancing in certain poses a tad trickier, but just a tad. The main feature here is one you'll often find in the show, where the character's hands convert into weapons. In Cliff's case, two triple-barreled guns. It's not a spring-loaded gimmick, it's all manual. The hands stow away perfectly, very smooth, very efficient. And of course, let's not forget the card stand that comes with all the first edition figures. Nice thought, but at the end of the day, it's something I can live without. As you've probably guessed from all that gushing, I like the first edition mold better than the Robots in Disguise sculpt. As for which version of it to get, this is probably the most affordable. But if you're really keen, save up for the Spark Has Yet to Be Extinguished Cliffjumper, the San Diego Comic-Con Rust in Peace set, or even the ARMS Micron release. The choice is yours. My next Prime review will be on Robots in Disguise RC. As for my next review, full stop, it'll be thrilling. I assure you.